welcome to Wilder Outdoor Academy. In today's lesson, I'll show you how to make a lean-to fire lay. A lean-to fire lay is a really good fire structure to have if you've got one big piece of wood and lots of other wood that you can sort of stack onto it. It works a lot like a lean-to shelter. What we're going to do is build a fire that lets the air breathe through a little tunnel that we make with our fuel. Now, before we start, I always want to have all of my material laid out. I've got my tinder, which again is material that you can light and will burn quickly. Here I have pine needles and some birch bark. Birch bark is great because it's full of oil. Pine needles are dense and they'll burn for a long time. I have some tinder. I apologize. Here's my tinder. I have some kindling, which are very thin sticks that will light quickly, but not as quick as our tinder over here. And then I have all of my fuel laid out from smallest pieces to largest pieces. Now what I'm going to do is sort of work across this line from tinder to kindling all the way down for my fuel. And the reason I want to have this laid out is because once I start my fire, I need to work quickly. And if I'm missing anything or I don't know where it is or I can't add it fast enough, my fire may go out. So for the lean-to fire lay, what I want to do is start with a big old pile of tinder. And I want it to be big and I want it to burn a long time because it's going to have to light my kindling as we go. So here I've got my pile of tinder. I'm going to add some very thin kindling to the mix just so that there's some thin wood to burn as it goes. Just like this. What I'm going to start to do is lean these tiny pieces of kindling up against my log. And that's going to be the start of the lean-to. And I always want enough space for oxygen to get through and for fire to get through. And as that fire builds, I'm just going to keep adding thicker and thicker fuel to it. And as the fire starts to go down, I'll be sure to blow underneath to keep it going. So I've got more kindling here. And I've got all of my light fuel over here. It's time to light the tinder, see what happens. All right, there we go. It's burning. Now we want to move quickly. Keep adding our tinder to the fire. My apologies. Oh my gosh. Kindling our thin wood. Keep adding it. Add some oxygen as it starts to burn down. Add a little bit more birch bark. We're going to keep layering that kindling across. Once that kindling starts to burn, you can start adding some of our really thin, fine fuel across. You see, we're just building a lean-to. It's literally leaning up against the big log, and the oxygen is going underneath as the fire rises through the wood. And you can see it's burning really fast, so that kindling is going real fast. So I'm going to start adding fuel as quickly as I can so that it doesn't completely burn out. Just keep adding it on. Add it on, add it on. And again, as it starts to go down, just want to add some oxygen. We always want to leave enough space for the oxygen to get through. And that's it. That is our lean-to fire lay. We'll add more and more fuel as we go. This fire will build up and eventually this will burn down slowly, but we should have a good old stack of fuel. Just keep adding to it, and adding to it. Keep us warm, help us cook, get the fire going.